we are, of course, learning that the last time that they would have picked up the signal from this vehicle, even from, the cameras, was at the Bloemfontein interchange. That's where it was last seen, heading towards the north. And now the Hennops River that's seen around there is now going to be, Thembekile, I suppose, the area where the police continue to comb for clues as they now try to piece together as to where the vehicle could be.
And as we do that, by the way, these police officers on their final journey, what they didn't know that day, they were travelling from Bloemfontein to Limpopo for deployment. Let's go to Bloemfontein because that's where all three hail from. Bring in another of our reporters, Keamogetswe Buys, who has been tracking the story for much of the 6 days since the disappearance. And before we come to you, I think it's worth actually saying the names of these people. The bodies found are those of Constable Cebekhulu Linda, who was just 24 years old, Keamogetswe Buys, 30 years old, and Boipelo Senoge, just 20 years old. What is the reaction from their hometown?
Thembekile, that was actually going to be my first point of call, where the names of these young police officers have to be mentioned. They were so young and they took a profession that, the people of Bloemfontein are saying protecting the nation. But for them to go missing, it was such a horrible experience. Yesterday, when we spoke to some of the residents here in Bloemfontein, they were praying for their safe return. But as things are now, our worst fears have been confirmed, as we heard from the National Commissioner confirming there that their bodies have been found and confirmed. I just want to bring in the Free State Premier, who's also been tracking the story with us and has been commenting on this. Just your initial reaction, Premier, to these horrible news that the Free State is hearing today.
Indeed, it's a horrible news, the worst news ever, because we hope that they'll be found alive. But what we just heard, really, it's sad. It's sad for the province, it's sad for the Free State government. As you clearly indicated, these were young people. I think they were looking, their future was bright because their deployment, if you track their ranks, their portfolio as well, those are portfolios of bright people. When you deal with CI, it should be somebody who's very sharp in mind. And as Free State, you have really lost these young people, and with a brighter future, of course, because as you correctly say, they chose this profession knowing quite well that it's risky, but they were committed and said, we are going to serve the people of Free State. But in this case, they didn't only serve the Free Staters, they served the country, as some of them were deployed in another province.
Mm-hmm. Premier, we spoke to the family members prior to today, and obviously their hope was that the children would return home safely. You've also met them. Have you been in contact with them today, perhaps just to find out what emotions they are going through at the moment?
I was emotional. I'm still emotional myself, because I believe that they'll be found alive. But today, the only person who's been in constant communication with me has been the Commissioner of Police. Even 10 minutes ago, when the last body was found, she was able to indicate that I'm still here at the mortuary. They're bringing in the last body. We're hopeful that it will be Buys, because that was the only remaining body. And she came back and said, yes, Premier, the third body is Constable Buys. So honestly, she's been even when they were arranging for the parents to be picked up here by a jet, she did indicate that the jet is being sent over to pick up the families. So really, she's been updating me, and it's still unbelievable because we just thought perhaps there's been something has happened. They might be found somewhere alive. They took the car, they took the cats, but really, it's a sad day for us. It's a sad day. It's painful. We are parents. Despite being politicians, given this these different portfolios, we are parents. I'm just worried how those parents are, and the kids as well, because one of the constables, they share a child, that couple, the one that the husband is also that side. So it's a very painful situation. and there's nothing that we can do. But ours is just to give support to the families as well. The commissioner just indicated that they'll just wait for all processes there, and then Friday we'll have to meet myself and the commissioner just to see how best can we assist these families just to ease the pain that they are going through.
I suppose, as you say, you're a parent, your message, from parent to the other parents in this moment.
Those ones that are affected by this, I'm saying, only God knows, and they must just trust in God. There's nothing really that we can do. It happened, but at the same time, it shouldn't be seen as something that can discourage other parents for their children to follow the same profession. Because when the call is made, you'll respond, obviously. But in this case, it's a very sad story that I don't even know how to talk to other parents. But what I will also ask the public is just to give the police space and stop the speculations that people are making, especially on the social media. Let's give the investigations as they're unfolding. Let's give the subs space just to find the cause of the death. So we're hopeful that we'll get deeper into the cause.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Premier, for your time. That was Premier Makwinle Tswamatai. They're just, reacting to the sad news of the 3 police officers who were obviously found in the Hennops River there in Centurion. They went missing last Wednesday. When we spoke to their parents at the weekend, they said communication stopped. One of the parents, Jane Sonuge, told us that communication with her daughter stopped when they reached Gauteng, and they just assumed that their batteries might have gone off. But unfortunately, this is the eventuality, and it is really sad news. It is one of the things that, even as Free Status, as the Premier is saying, it's a loss to the province, it's a loss to the nation.